It's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet, and retweet. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
Episode 11, Remember the Show. Jason Anik, Belal, remember the name Muhammad. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We were dark last week. We appreciate you getting back with us for season 2. Yeah, that's what we're calling it, season 2 of Remember the Show. If the season 1 highlight package that our esteemed producer Cody Merrill put together for the holiday was any indication, season 2 is going to be bananas. Anyway, more importantly, how's a welterweight contender a couple weeks out?
What's up, brother? Feeling good, man. It's getting to that point now where I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's almost that fight week. When it gets fight week, then that's when everything's real. That's when it all comes together. All this training, everything's great and fun, everything like that. But there's nothing like a fight week.
I'm excited, man. Well, I can't wait. You know, as we said 2 weeks ago, it was like, you know, we take a week off, we're back in 2 weeks, and then it's 2 weeks out. So 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Vegas getting ready. We can't wait. On that same card, Chimaev Edwards called off. We were hoping you'd get the opportunity there. But anyway, that was an interesting turn of events, you know, with all this COVID. It's just crazy. You know, Edwards is sick. It's just nuts, man. And obviously, we were hoping you'd get that opportunity. But either way, you'll be on the card. What are your thoughts on that Chimaev Edwards cancellation?
It's crazy. It's one of those things nowadays where when you're a fighter, you have to worry about training, dieting, getting in the right shape. Are you doing the right training methods? Now you have to add another stress into it where it's like, all right, I got to be around the right people. I got to worry about getting sick now. It's a different type of sickness where you don't know how you're going to get it, how you're going to retract it or whatever like that. So it's like you want to avoid seeing more family. You want to be more alone now until the fight. So you got to be more selfish. And it's just a whole different type of feeling where it's like nowadays you got to be a lot more smarter with everything. You got to be smarter with the type of training partners you have, keeping a small groups, trusting the right people that if they feel sick, they're not going to come around you. And it's just crazy nowadays where it's like, it could go up to literally you have to be stressed out all the way until fight day of whether I'm going to fight or not. Before it's worried about, all right, as long as I'm healthy, I'm good. Even if 90% of the fighters are not healthy, they always have little injuries from camps, but you can still fight. Now it's not up to you anymore. Now it's if the COVID test says you're positive, you're not allowed to fight, whether you feel good or not. But hopefully both those guys get better. You know, Leon's had a rough year for him. You know, he's had a couple of cancellations.
Yep.
You feel sorry for the guy. You know, obviously he's in my division. It's one of those guys you want to fight, but it's like health comes first, family comes first. The guy has a family, and you feel for that type of guy where he's not able to put money on the table, food on the table because he can't fight, and it's out of his hands. Obviously, he's probably doing all the right things with the mask and everything like that, but you could get the COVID any way possible nowadays.
Well, you know, and for you too, heading out there, you feel great, you trained great, you get there, a couple negative tests, and some people are getting the positive test, you know, after multiple negative tests at the fight destination. And that variable, man, it's just crazy. And you don't know how sick certain people are getting or if they're asymptomatic or if it's a false positive. The platform we're dealing with, it's just nuts, man.
Yeah, it's getting scary where it's like beforehand, you know, everybody was saying, oh, you know, it's just, oh, you lose your sense of smell and taste. But now you're seeing guys, oh, I lost 12 pounds in 4 days. Right. Or then some guys are like, I know some guys that got blood clots from it. A couple guys said that they got blood clots to their brain from it. And I was like, what? Like I don't get what it is anymore. Then where they said, if you had it, you're not going to get it again. But now I'm hearing people that got it twice. So that now it's like,
right.
You don't know what it is. So now I'm hoping this vaccine's out now that it's going to the UK and stuff like that. So hopefully we figure it out sooner rather than later.
Well, anyway, we're excited. We're excited for 12-19. I could talk about that all night. when we take 2 weeks off we take a week off from the show, and 2 weeks in the mixed martial arts world, we could go on for days. We could talk about Tyson. We could talk about Jake Paul. There's all sorts of ways to go. I got to talk in the Flyweight Championship recently because it hadn't happened when we last spoke, and now it happened, and now it's going to turn around and happen again before your fight. So, thoughts on Figueiredo and now Moreno, who's going to get the chance?
Man, that was an awesome fight for both of those guys. Actually, it was one of those where Moreno looked amazing because Royval is one of those guys where it's chaos in there with him in the cage, where he throws from all angles. It's like one of the most exciting fighters I've ever seen, and I feel like for him, that's the type of fighter Figueiredo is. But Figueiredo brings a little more power with it. But Figueiredo throws from all different angles. He throws on the ground, elbows you from the ground. So I think for Moreno, it's a better matchup for him since it's a short notice because he's seen it before. And for Figueiredo, it's one of those where this guy, it was such a quick fight for him. He just went in there, got the finisher early. And so, obviously he didn't take no damage or anything in the fight. So it's like he could just get back-to-back fights off of the same camp. So it's cool for both these guys, seeing both these guys. And like it's opportunity knocks. That fight lost 2 main events due to COVID. And now you're getting 2 flyweights main eventing back-to-back pay-per-views. And it's one of those divisions that was supposed to get canceled. Now we need these divisions. It's amazing. And you really wonder if it was a different atmosphere, if there would really be a consideration to run it back 3 weeks later. Even if Moreno is the next guy, would it really be happening in 2020, running it back again? Just unbelievable to me. But either way, I can't wait. And it's good to put things on paper because as we know, things can get wiped off paper quickly, So yeah, but that's the good thing about the era we're in right now, where you're seeing all these guys step up. Like you have like a Paul Felder step up on a week notice, and I think that motivates other guys to want to be that guy. Like how much love that Paul Felder got for that, so it like makes these guys like, yo, I want that type of love too. I want that feeling too. Sure. Yo, I'm that type of fighter. Where all these guys nowadays are like, yo, I want to fight 5 times in a year, and you're seeing all these guys like it motivates these guys. If that type of thing doesn't motivate you, you shouldn't be in the sport. And that's awesome that these guys are willing to step up and do it back to back. When you have a champ doing that. That means even more to you because that just shows that he's not afraid to fight anybody. He's not one of those guys, I need a full camp or I need 8 weeks to make this happen. So big respect to both these guys because that's awesome that they're doing that and they're taking that chance to step up on 3 weeks notice again. Yep. Well, anytime you're on Remember the Show, you got a pretty good chance to be in the mixed martial arts news the next week. Yair Rodriguez on our show last week. I guess USADA couldn't find him. 6-month suspension. I know he was recovering from an injury, and it seems Zabit is the next opponent either way. But I want you to talk about your boy a little bit. He was on the show, and I know that can be a tricky situation, USADA. So, yeah, a lot of people don't understand it. It's one of those where you literally have to tell them exactly where you're going to be at all times, and you have to put it in your phone, in the system, and you're doing it like a month in advance where, like, I know I'm going to be in this area at this time. And it's hard. It gets hard where you always have to update it, and it gets annoying. And it's one of those for a guy like Yair where he's always on the move. Like I train with the guy. So, and like literally he'll be at practice one day. The next day I'll see him in Mexico. The next day I'll see him in by Donald Cerrone in the freaking mountains going sledding. I'm like, this guy's literally always on the move. So like, it's understandable why he was missing 3 times. Cause it's one of those, you get 3 X's, then you get suspended. And for a guy like that, you just feel bad for the guy because he's coming off injuries and, people are always like mad at you when you get injured. But for the type of style this guy has, he's so dynamic and he's doing so many crazy things. And it's like, literally he has the most exciting style in the sport. But like when you do that type of style, you're obviously going to get injured because you have to practice that way too. It's like, you're not just going to go out there and throw a crazy backward elbow knockout of Korean Zombie if you're not practicing that type of movement, that type of style. And when you're doing that type of movement, you get injured at practice. So coming off injury and then sitting there having to deal with the whole USADA stuff, it's just stressful. That's why I feel bad for the guy. But, he'll be back in March. And like I said, I can't wait for that as a beef fight. That's one of those fights where I know the UFC been wanting that. And that's a fight that they're going to wait on because they want that fight to happen. So they're going to hold the beat for that fight. And it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be worth the wait because both these guys are going to put on one of the greatest shows that we're ever going to see, I think. I'm excited, man. Well, without further ado, it's time to move to the famous Bullies Bix. All right, Bully. So we were dark last week, as you know. So the last card you predicted 8-4. Overall, 67, 35, and 2. Thank you, Mr. Mero. 64% overall.
Moving to this weekend's card, UFC Fight Night, Hermanson versus Vettori. Prelim 7 p.m. ESPN2, ESPN Plus. I feel like I should say brought to you by Moderno. I got like John in my head. We'll go with it. Anyway, we got 3 for you as always. First fight, bantamweight division. Pretty close fight here. Supposed to happen a couple weeks ago on the Felder Dos Anjos card. Smoke, I think, missed weight. So we have Jose Quinones plus 110 versus slight favorite Luis Smolka minus 140. Bantamweights.
I like both these. I like this fight. I think it's gonna be one of those exciting fights where Smolka always comes. He got a weird style. I think Smolka's gonna be a little too much for Quinones. Just his last fight against Sean O'Malley, he was just sitting there following and just getting hit a lot. And I think that this is going to happen this fight too. Smolka kind of has the O'Malley style where he has good movement and hits you from different angles. So I'm going to give this one to Smolka.
Going with the slight favorite there. All right, second fight. Co-main event, light heavyweight division. I'm really looking forward to this one. Longtime vet, Ovince St. Preux. Underdog here, plus 140 versus the exciting, undefeated Jamal Hill. In the light heavyweight division, Jamal Hill minus 170. St. Preux take away the O here for the slight favorite.
This is that was crazy odds right there coming from Jamal Hill. Like, I don't think Jamal Hill has fought anybody like Ovince St. Preux. Ovince St. Preux sat there, been in there with John Jones. He's been a heavyweight, fought Rafa a couple fights ago. He just beat a big prospect his last fight in Mennefield.
Yep.
But man, Jamal Hill is so fast and he's powerful and he's confident.
He is.
A big thing in this sport is confidence and just believing in yourself. And you could tell this kid has it. This kid wants it. I think I'm gonna stick with the favor here. You know, I'm thinking of St. Preux because he's so weird and he throws from different angles and like he literally has that one punch knockout power. But I think Jamal is gonna be too fast for him. He's gonna go in and out, and I think he's gonna light him up a little bit.
I hear you. Well, it's funny you say it because I remember John saying at one point on a podcast, like, just go to the window with Ovince St. Preux. It's like, you know, he's always a underdog or whatever, and it's like you wake up and he wins. But I hear you. I lean Hill there too. Anyway, no one wants to know what I have to say on that main event in the middleweight division. It's interesting. We got the 13th ranked fighter Marvin Vettori against the 4th ranked fighter Jack Hermanson. The 13th seed favorite. It's like an NCAA tournament. You got the 13th seed favored over the 4 seed. But either way, Marvin Vettori minus 145, Jack Hermanson plus 115. Change of opponent here from Holland. Who do you have in the main event, Bully?
Man, honestly, this is big respect to Hermanson because he sat there, went from Till to Holland, and now he's going to Vettori, and he just said yes to every single one of those guys. For this one, honestly, I think this one's a worse matchup for him than Holland. I thought he was going to be able to take Holland down, but Vettori was training already for Jacare. So he was already training for a hard-nosed Jits guy that's going to try to take him down. And Vettori is one of those wild guys. He sat there, a lot of people saying that Hermanson has a better schedule than him, but Vettori fought the champ. He fought Israel, and he took him to a split decision.
Yep.
And he's another one of those guys where his confidence is through the roof, where he wants to fight these top guys, and he thinks he's been wanting that rematch bad. And I think I'm going to stick with Vettori for this one. I think Vettori got this one. He's hungry. The guy's hungry, and we've seen Hermanson lose to powerful guys. He lost to the Gorilla, and I think that it's going to be that type of style where he gets hit a little bit on the feet from Vettori and it gets dropped. So I'm going to go with Vettori with them with the finish, honestly.
It's amazing. Well, the game show is creeping. He is a winner of 9 of his last 10 UFC fights, 4 in a row in the big boy division. Representing Elevation Fight Team and the great city of Chicago, please welcome to the program the number 2 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Curtis Razor Blaydes. Welcome.
What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Hey, what's up, Curtis?
I'm good, bro.
How you feeling? We know that you had the whole COVID. Did you get any symptoms or no?
Yeah, I got the test results on the Friday, and then it's like the symptoms hit me a couple hours later. It wasn't really the nausea or the respiratory issues. It was mostly headaches, like real bad headaches, and I had like the chills. I was hot, I was cold, slight sweats, but it was over after Monday. I mean, the headaches, they've been coming and going, but not as extreme anymore. I think I'm past the worst of it.
Man, Were you feeling it coming on a little bit before the test, or I mean?
No, I mean, there was Wednesday. I did take a random like 5-hour midday nap. I don't know if that was a symptom of fatigue or if I was just tired from all the training. I don't know, but besides that, I didn't have anything. But then when it did hit, they hit.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was sitting there watching on your story where you were hitting pads like a couple days before, and like you looked so good and fast. And I was like, wow, man, I wonder if he got it because like you looked so good, like you looked like on point.
Yeah, I felt really, really good, and that was the worst part of getting COVID. This was a great camp for me, given the circumstances. I didn't have any outbreaks with COVID prior. We did all the right protocols. We had small groups. We were in empty gyms. We did everything right. Our conditioning was good. Weight was good. And then, boom, the MMA gods said no.
Well, hopefully you can run it back, you know? Sorry, go ahead, Bully.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask that same question. Are you guys going to try to run that one back or?
Yeah. We're working on. They just haven't picked the right time. They asked me about the 19th of this month. I was like, nah, that's too soon. I want to be at 100%. Then they had us at January 20th in Abu Dhabi, and that was on a Wednesday, and I was like, okay, I can do that. But then, like Tuesday afternoon, they hit me up while I was driving back from Vegas, and they asked me if I wanted to do it February 20th. So I think that's going to be the one. I don't know for sure yet, though.
We're certainly looking forward to it. We're hoping to give you a little competition here tonight because you didn't get any, a couple weeks ago. But it's crazy, man. Just this whole COVID environment is just nuts, man. And it's just, you hear about a test of yours, and we didn't even know till we had you on if you were asymptomatic or what you were even dealing with. But it's just nuts, man. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy you're healthy enough to be on with us tonight. We certainly appreciate it, man.
No, yeah, I feel good, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I appreciate the exposure.
Now, so do you live in Chicago or are you living in Denver right now?
Denver. I moved here officially.
So you're fully out there now?
4 years ago. Yeah. It was the best thing for my career. I didn't have any I have a lot of heavies back home to train with. I didn't have a legitimate a coaching staff. I didn't have a jiu-jitsu coach. I didn't have a strength and conditioning coach. I didn't have a striking coach. I didn't really have any of that. I was
hate to cut you off, Razor Blaydes, but it looks like we have some competition for you. This UFC fighter fought 3 times in 2020, come out a clean 3-0. He has all sorts of momentum in UFC's welterweight division. There he is, representing Elevation Fight Team as well. The longtime UFC veteran Neil Magny's on Belal Show. What's up, Neil?
You don't hear us, Neil?
Let's
you can hear us, Neil?
Neil Magny's in the house. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
There you go.
All right, Neil, you see we don't mess around. Right to the game show. All right, gentlemen, the questions go back and forth. Most important thing, if you know the answer, shout bully. Nothing else will work. You shout bully when you know the answer. If you get the answer wrong, negative points. The points go to your opponents. You get the answer right, obviously the points are yours. High score wins. Bully has a punishment, I believe, if you lose.
All right, guys. Yeah, for sure. So today's punishment is going to be a good one. Usually it's a mean tweet. I don't know if you guys saw this last week. Yair lost to Sergio Pettis, and he had to tweet out, "Man, I hate Robert Whittaker." And then, the backlash he got from it was the funniest thing in the world. People are like, "Why would you hate Robert Whittaker for?" And it was then before that, I had Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman had to tweet out, "Chicago pizza is better than New York pizza," and people went hard on it.
Wow.
He was like, "Bro, no, please don't make me do that." I was like, "Dude, you have to." But for sure, today's gonna be a fun one. So. The loser of today's show has to tweet out, "John Jones at heavyweight will be Nate Robinson." And you have to tweet out that picture.
Oh shit! All right.
So this is gonna be a
Don't
good
lose,
one.
Curtis. Don't lose.
These are the categories for today, guys. Let's check out the categories. That's your cue, Cody. Whose record is this? These are UFC records. You get multiple choice, so you guys can pick out the multiple choice. So if you know the right answer, just shout out Bully, and then you pick the right answer. Second category is who is he or she? These are guy fighters with girl filters. So I put girl filters on them, but there's a guy fighter behind the background.
Okay.
This one is a face mash. So kind of like what I posted with you two earlier today. This is two fighter faces. You got to tell me who are the two fighters. And then this last one is find this. Neil, you're in your car right now, so I know this one's going to be hard for you, but maybe you have one of these things in your car.
Okay, I'll go for it.
So, Curtis, you're here first, so I'll let you pick out the first category for today.
Okay. Whose record is this? Or that?
Whose record is this for 100?
Yeah, 100.
All right. This person attempted 33 takedowns in a fight. Is it A, Khabib?
Bully. Velasquez.
Who is that? Razor?
Velasquez.
Velasquez?
Yeah.
Dang, how did you know?
Oh,
Because I
You're
know
doing
I know
research.
That was smooth right there. You were studying. All right. We're up. Curtis is up right now. You pick again, Curtis.
Okay. 100.
Find this for 100. All right. You have 30 seconds to find
Oh fuck.
a bag of chips.
I'm in there. I got guy chips in the car. Wherever I have to go.
No.
Oh, I threw it away. I threw it away.
No way.
Oh,
Bully,
Magny.
bully.
Curtis got it.
Woo.
Neil, you're
I should've
frozen
kept
right
the clean
now.
on my car. Should have kept that thing junky.
Neil, you're frozen right now. Try to hop out and hop back in.
Woo. Got me sprinting down the stairs.
Oh, let me see. You said I'm muted or filtered?
You're frozen. Like you're frozen on the screen.
Oh, he loses by default then.
Okay, let me see.
You lose.
Dang, bag of chips. I was like, man, bag of chips is gonna be a good one.
You lose.
That's the earliest we've had a forfeit.
Now he's gonna have right back in.
Neil forfeits. I like that.
Curtis got COVID-19. We're making him run all over his house, you know?
He's getting his workout back in. All right, here we go. All right, Neil, you were frozen, but Curtis won that one. He had the bag of chips right in front of him.
That's why I got to clean out my car. I had a bag of chips right in the glove box, and I cleaned it out.
Curtis, you're up again.
Who is she or he?
For who is he or she for 100?
Yeah.
All right, this is one fighter, guys.
Oh my God. Bully. Stipe.
Dang,
Yeah,
Curtis.
Hey, this is kind of biased. You give him all the heavyweights.
Curtis is on point right now.
That's because he knows all the heavyweights. This is kind of biased. This is one way.
Those are easy though. Those are all 100-point ones. So let's
Yeah,
once we get to the higher ones, you have a chance, man. Neil, you're up, Curtis. You pick again.
Whose record is that? 200.
Whose record is that? 200.
Yep.
This person has a record for most significant ground strikes in a fight.
Bully.
Neil.
Neil Magny.
You are correct.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. I was like, dang, I forgot about that fight right
My
there.
homie, he just he posted that stat. I knew that one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I knew that one.
I was looking. I was like, man, where's Curtis on there? Curtis should be on that part too. But
Hey, I need like 8 more fights.
you're up, Neil. Pick again. Now it's your turn to pick.
Whose record is this for 300?
Whose record is this for 300? The record for most leg kicks landed in fight.
Bully.
Razor. Jose Aldo. That is incorrect.
Oh,
I threw that one in there. I was like, man, I was surprised. I was like, dang, Joanna, okay.
Wow.
what fight was that?
Points go to Neil. It was her against Karate Hottie. You're up, Neil. You pick again.
Who is she or he for 200?
Who's he or she for 200?
Bully.
Razor.
Well, they all look the same.
This one is
3,
Eric.
2,
Eric
1.
Oh, I got it.
Neil.
Is that Jack Emerson?
Boom. He got it.
Oh, I'm about to
Look
get it anyway, guys.
Neil gets the look at the scores. Now see how easy that's how quick it can turn on you, Curtis.
The tides
You see what happens when the answer's not all heavyweights?
You're up, Neil. You pick again.
Who is he or she for 300?
Who is she or he for 300?
Lewis!
Bully.
Bully!
Bully. No, he said
That-
Lewis first. Bully.
Oh, you're coming to me. He
I
went
said
Lewis, but
Bully.
then I think he got bullied. Yeah,
I said Bully and the answer first.
No, you said Lewis. You said Lewis, then you said Bully.
I'm gonna have to give that one to Neil. You're up.
Boom! Boom! That's Derek Lewis.
He said Lewis. Lewis.
He said Lewis and then Bully.
I
So
said Bully.
that was quick. He said it quick.
I said Bully out the gate. Oh, wow.
Man, I'm just blown away at how gorgeous Derek Lewis is as a woman.
Dang, Neil's running away with it now. Let's go, Curtis. You're up, Neil.
Let's go. Let's go again. Who is she or he for 400?
Oh, this one's a funny one.
Let's get rid of these.
Bully! Bully!
Neil.
I
Neil.
got it, Drew Dover.
Oh man, that was quick.
Oh, I was like, why do you know that?
I'm on roll.
That was quick. You got that one. Super fast. I thought it was gonna be harder for you guys.
Only reason I knew that one is because when that filter first came out, me and Drew were doing it for each other. So I've already seen Drew Dover as a girl with that filter.
Oh, it's hilarious. You're up, Neil.
Let's see. Whose record is that for 400?
This is a big one right here, Curtis. Come on. Most significant strikes landed in a fight.
Bully!
Neil.
Max Holloway.
What is this? Is my mic broken?
290. Come on, Curtis. Get louder.
Oh,
What is wrong with my mic? I said Bully. Let me
hey,
pump the
you know what?
volume.
To be fair, Curtis, I'm not trying to make funny, but to be fair, Curtis does have a slight speech impediment, so you should get a handicap point for this.
I
To be
still
fair.
beat you. I said Bully out the gate. I still beat you. Even with the impediment, I still
These points are big right here, Curtis. You need these right here. Let's go. You're up, Neil. The finalists are going to be big for you, Curtis. You're
Yeah,
up,
no,
Neil.
I gotta win all these right now. I'll do face smash for 100.
Face match for 100. This is 2 fighter faces.
Bully.
Curtis.
Floyd Vasa and Roy Nelson.
Boom.
Okay,
You got it.
you got me there. And, surprise, he got me another heavyweight group. I'm telling you.
I was going to say 2 heavyweights. You're up, Curtis.
We'll do face man.
Face match 200. 2 fighter faces here.
Face smash. 200. Is it my mic? My mic?
Bully.
Neil.
Frozen?
Khabib and I
Hello?
can go back on his name. He's number 3 at featherweight. Fuck. I go
3,
back on his name.
2,
Damn it! I just spoke to
One.
him last night too. Crazy. Fuck it.
and he loses the points. Points go to Curtis.
Who was that?
That is-
Khabib and
GSP.
okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, when you said featherweight, I was like, all right. Now we
Yeah,
can
I
just give
was
the wrong
wrong.
answer. You're up, Curtis.
Face smash.
Face match 300. These are big right here.
Bully.
Neil.
Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis, ugly ass. Let's go. Let's go.
You got it.
I need
You're
all
up.
these points, bro.
You need these points right here, Curtis. You're up, Neil.
I'm trying to do the math in my head. I don't
Face smash
remember
for
that.
400.
Face match for 400.
Bully.
Neil.
Gilbert Burns and Shivov.
You got it.
I'm on the road.
We got to make this respectable, Curtis. Come on.
Game with moves.
You're up,
All
Neil.
right. I'm kind of stranded on this one. I'm stuck in the car, so Curtis should run away with these now.
Let's go. Find this. A candle.
Candle. What the hell am I find a candle in the damn car?
I don't even feel like getting up. You can have it, Neil. I don't even feel like getting up. I know we got one, but I don't even want to get up.
I'm in a car. These are easy points. I'm gonna look it up for it.
Come on, Curtis.
Come on. You gonna make me get up for
Nah, you're all good.
That's it. He forfeited.
Scotch tape. Let's see if you got scotch tape in his car.
No, I did. 'Cause I just put something at the mailbox, but I took it out. So no, I did not. Damn it.
Let's see what the last one was. A flag.
A flag.
You got a flag in your car? If you got a flag in your car, you're a beast.
Yes, I do. There's a flag
No
right
way.
here. Look at that. Look at that. I got a flag. A flag in the head. Look at that. These stamps. American flag, baby. Oh, let's go.
You get the points.
That's game.
He can have it.
Oh, man. You remember the show, Champ. Neil Magny,
There
the
we
floor is
go.
yours. How does it feel to be champ?
Oh, it feels great. I want to dedicate this win to my family. They should want to stay with me when I was down. Woo! This win felt great.
Oh, my Lord.
Come on, Curtis.
He got ugly. He got ugly real fast.
You started off so high. I was like, man, Curtis is about to run away with this. That's how quick you could.
He got ugly. Well, you gave him one. You gave him one.
Yeah. I do think he got cheated on one. You know what? But either way, it was a little bit of a landslide. So, well, Curtis, man,
I'm not gonna argue.
Curtis.
I'm not gonna appeal it. I'll take the L.
still recovering
You
from
sound like
COVID.
Donald Trump right now, bro. You sound like Donald Trump. Let's do a recount. I'm sorry, Neil. I've been winning by 1,600 points. You won by 1,400 points. I'm sorry, Curtis.
You want to recount?
It's yours, bro. It's yours. Take my L.
So unfortunately, you know what that means, Curtis. You have to do the mean tweet.
Bro, I'm gonna delete my Twitter after this.
You just gotta tweet it, and then I'm gonna send it to you. What you have to tweet, you just have to tweet it. You can't say it has anything to do with the show, and then you just gotta let the cloud take it from there.
I'll just delete my shit after that.
But hey, Curtis, you're the man. I appreciate you, Neil. If we can have you on for a little bit longer to talk about it, but Curtis,
Curtis, good to meet you, man. Get well.
No problem. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's nice meeting you.
Have a good one,
Be
brother.
well.
All right, man.
Damn, it feels good to win. Let it, Curtis.
Neil, my
so
dude.
Neil Magny is in the news. You know, Ariel's calling you the boogeyman because everyone's avoiding you. You're ready to go in 2 weeks. It's crazy, man. We can't wait to see you fight next, man. Seemed like some people dodging you.
Yeah, man, it's super frustrating at this point. I mean, like, without having all the clear answers, I definitely have to lean towards the fact that the people are dodging me at this point. I mean, this man goes on left and right saying he'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. He'll fight multiple guys in one night, but as soon as I throw my name in the hat, this man gets quiet. So at this point, I don't know what else to do to call this man out and get a fight against him.
Was it ever close? Was it like, were you guys ever in like talks at it all about it? Or because you know how Daniel kept saying, nope, man, nobody wants to fight this guy, nobody, and then you're literally tweeting it out like, yo, I want to fight him. I want to fight him.
Yeah, so at one point, it was a matter of 3 days. It was like where on a Wednesday, Dana White did an interview, and he said that Comes Out was the hardest guys to book. Nobody's willing to fight this guy. And he gave me credit for being one of the only guys to step up. The next day, I get a call from my manager saying, like, hey, man, we got the fight. It's booked. It's yours. Gave me the date and everything. And literally the next day, I'm leaving practice, and I see Leon Edwards got the fight. So I'm just scratching my head like, what the hell is going on? Like, I thought on two people confirming, I thought I got the fight, but it somehow slipped through my fingers again.
Wow, that's crazy. So, like, are you like training for anything right now, or like anything in the talks or anything like that right now?
The big thing for me was to train for opportunity. I mean, like December 19th was a huge moment for opportunity, and with the way COVID is going this year, I'd be an idiot to miss out on that big opportunity. I mean, guys, the last 3 main events have all been pulled the week of because of COVID. So, for me, and knowing how this year has played out, not saying I wish COVID on anyone, but just knowing how this year has played out for the UFC, I just saw an opportunity that I can train for and be prepared for, and that's kind of where my mind was set as far as competing this year.
I was gonna say too. Do you cut a lot of weight, or do you like walk around late? Because being willing to like step up on 2 weeks' notice without having a fight step up, I was like, all
No,
right.
not at all. Like literally, we were sitting there talking. I thought I was gonna get home in time, so I'm in my car with my dinner and just like shrimp and pasta, loading up on carbs still, with potentially being a fight in 2 weeks. So for me, losing weight is never a problem. For me, like maintaining weight is the hard part for me. So whether there's 2 weeks notice, weeks notice, like I'm ready to make weight anytime.
It's funny, man. You December 19th, as you know, Belal's got a fight a couple weeks out. Welterweight title. If anyone bounces out of that, who knows? I could be staring at two guys strapping it up against each other in a couple weeks. It's a crazy world, you know?
Literally, when I was thinking about when Leon Edwards pulled out, I'm like, literally the only two people that make sense are me or Neil Magny. Because I was like, for me, because I'm on the card and I'm ranked a little above Chimaev, so I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And I'm like, but man, I already know Neil Magny's probably training and he's ready to fight because the dude's literally always ready to fight. And you fought 3 times this year already, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I had 3 fights, 3 good fights. Took no damage in any of those fights, able to keep the ball rolling. So I was definitely looking forward to go out there and do it again. I mean, close out the year 4 wins, 4-0, and start out 2021 on a bang.
Yeah, I'm hearing that right now too, especially because in our division where you got so many ranked guys not willing to fight each other. And they're all looking for different things. That's why I was happy that you got Lawler the last one, because I'm like, all right, at least it's a ranked guy. Because before that, they gave you Rocco Martin, and I was like you said, you want to see guys moving up, fighting guys that are higher ranked. And I'm like, why is this happening? Especially for a guy like you who's been around and you had 2 years where you had 5 fights, and you fought top guys in the division. I'm like, if he's not getting ranked guys like that, I know it's gonna be harder for me to get ranked guys like that. So I'm looking at it like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough call. I mean, at the end of the day, we're prize fighters too. I mean, we don't earn a living if we're not fighting. So for me, being where I'm at right now in my career, 33 years old, I probably have 5-6 years left max in this sport where I'm able to do it at my best with the best guys in the world. So I want to maximize my output, maximize my opportunities when I'm in my prime right now. So for me, to sit out for 6 months, a year, whatever it may be, it makes no sense for me. I mean, this is time for me to go out there, fight, earn a living, reinvest, get right back to the gym, and keep making a run towards that title. So I don't have time to sit around. I don't want to sit around for 6 months, 3 months. I mean, even 3 months is too long for me. Like, I want to be able to fight every other month if I could. Like, let me just fight it as much as possible. I'll go out there and make things happen.
Are you doing anything different with COVID now? Like, is your training differently? Like, were you like being more specific about who you train with, or smaller groups or anything like that?
Yeah, so we have to switch it off and go into smaller group training, which has been interesting. But like the good thing that the small group training has allowed us to do was kind of focusing more on the individuals. So before, when you're on the mat with 50 people, it was hard to get 5 coaches kind of notice every single thing you're doing wrong. But now that we have these smaller group trainings with 5-6 people max in there, it really allows coaches to I mean, some days you have more coaches than athletes on the mat. So it allows all the coaches to kind of like really see where your game is developing or where it needs to develop, and you get a lot of one-on-one attention now.
Are you guys like doing specific times, like lightweights at this time, welterweights at this time, or is it like UFC guys at this time, or this and what's called at this time?
Yeah, so it's by weight class. We got the smaller guys doing a particular time, lightweights and welterweights doing a particular time, middleweights, 205ers, and heavyweights doing a particular time. Just kind of based on who's in camp, who's available, who's training. We just gotta make the groups fit according to the size, of course, and then like who's to be a good training partner for who.
And another thing, like the fact that you call out Chimaev, do you like see a weakness in his game? Do you believe in the hype, or do you see something that you could exploit, or just one of those where you know that stealing that hype from him would elevate your game? Because like I tell people that all the time, like beating like a guy like Chimaev, where he got so much hype right now, like taking his main event would be such a bigger picture. Like you could gain more from that than beating like a guy higher ranked than you, like the Michael Chiesa or somebody. Because beating like a Chimaev, that's you're stealing all of his fans, stealing all of that hype. And people are putting your name on the map.
Yeah, I mean, with his last 2 fights going away, or 3 fights going away that they did, he definitely has a lot of eyes on him right now. So it kind of sets the stage for me to go out there and put on an amazing performance and kind of get a lot more eyes on me. Where some of these other guys, like you mentioned, it may not bring as much attention for me to get that fight. So I can go out there, beat some of these other guys that are ranked in the top 10, where it's like, well, it was a good fight, but it wasn't nothing crazy. But a guy like Chimaev right now, who has a lot of steam behind him, for me to go out there and just literally starch this dude or just beat the brakes off him, that really gets me noticed a lot more by the fans, by the UFC, and propels my career a lot further, even though I'm technically fighting back as far as the rankings go.
That's a good point. And last question before we get you out of here. What do you think of the main event? I mean, the welterweight title fight with Usman and Gilbert Burns. How do you see that one playing out?
I see that one going for Gilbert Burns. I'm sorry, Usman. As being a dominant wrestler, I see it very difficult for a guy whose primary goal is to get you to the ground and do jiu-jitsu. I just see him having a difficult time getting Usman to the ground or dictating where the fight goes. Where Usman has the power advantage, the wrestling advantage, he kind of dictate where the fight goes and how it takes place.
Good stuff, man. Well, hey, 2020, nice and clean for you, man. Even though you didn't get this at the end of December, hey, you never know what'll happen either way. We can't wait to see you early 2021, man. Thanks for being on, man. Great.
Oh, no problem. Wait, dude, are you actually John Anik's brother?
Same DNA, bro. Identical.
Twins.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. I was just sitting there tripping out for a second, like, oh wait, Anik. And I'm looking at you like, is John wearing a wig for a second?
Hey, no, it's real, man. It's real. But yeah, no, he's my identical twin. So it's a trip, man. Some people know, some don't. But I've obviously been a fan of yours for a long time, as my brother has. So it's cool to meet you, man.
It literally just was like a mind fart. I was like, wait a minute.
Right?
That is awesome, dude. Man,
Exactly.
it's great to meet you, dude.
You too, man. Well,
Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on, brother.
God, no problem. Thanks for having the show. You guys did amazing things right now. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it. Dude, that welterweight division is stacked. I mean, it's like you start to think about all the different opportunities and who's next for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is crazy.
And it's just fun just to have like professional guys like him, where you he doesn't need to be fake and like talk trash about somebody or anything like that. It's like, yo, I want the momentum. It's not like I hate this guy or it's like I have to put on a persona or something like that. Like guys like him are guys that I respect more because they're like real professional and they don't have to fake it. So like they may not have the biggest following, but the guy's literally had 2 years where he's had 5 fights in a year and the guy's always ready to step up. And I feel like guys like that need more respect than guys that are just like willing to talk trash and guys that are looking dumb and being stupid on social media, like Mike Perry. Like this guy got 500,000 followers, but the guy, beforehand, I was like, I respected the guy, but then when you're sitting there posting stupid stuff about missing weight and like, oh, I'm gonna miss weight in a little bit, then you actually miss weight. At first, I thought you were trolling, but then you miss weight by 5 pounds. I'm like, that's just disrespectful to the sport. You're just playing like that, and you actually miss it. I'm like, stuff like that gives the sport a bad name. Those are the guys that I look at like, man, I don't want them in the sport.
I hear you. Well, and it's just great having different guys and different fighters on it. Some of these guys, I'm sure but you get to know them in a different way in this platform. It's like Neil Magny. You and I have had a lot of conversations about him as a potential opponent for you for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? And it's just fun to have him on the show, and you do never know. It's like if Lima, something happened with Lima, who knows? It's just crazy, man. But it's nice to sort of meet these guys in this sort of platform because they have, they get to do the game show and mess around for a little bit. It's great to meet Neil Magny and Blaydes, man. And Blaydes, dude, he has COVID a few days ago and he's coming on the show,
He looks like a sore loser though, so let's see if he does that tweet.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because they're talking about, DC said something about him fighting John Jones, and then you want him to put this out. Didn't you want him to put – go ahead. Sorry.
No, John actually tweeted something earlier this week where he put in quotes where it said, oh, his legs are too skinny for heavyweight. And he put the quote in. And I was like, man, who said it? And then Razor Blaydes said it about John Jones. Razor Blaydes said, yeah, John Jones' legs are too skinny for heavyweight. And so, I think it was like a little shot at Razor. And that fight actually makes sense. Like, it makes more sense to me than Curtis against Black Beast. Because I think Curtis, I feel like that's an easier fight for him. I think he's going to go in there, take him down. It's an easy game plan for Curtis to go in there, take him down with a thing and ground upon him a little bit. That's what he loves to do. And that's Black Beast's weakness. But against John Jones, that's one of those. It's a perfect matchup to see how good John Jones is going to be at heavyweight because you're fighting one of the best guys in the division. The only guy he lost to was Francis Ngannou, and that guy just has crazy power. And with this sport, all it takes is one punch. But John Jones, he's going to have to use a lot of skill against a guy like Curtis because Curtis's hands are good, his feet are good, and like I said, I saw him hitting pads his fight week for Black Beast. And I screen recorded it and I showed it to my boy because he's doing stuff that I'm trying to work on. And when seeing a heavyweight do his type of footwork, and I'm like, you learn from everybody. And I always learn from all these coaches and stuff that they post stuff on social media. And it's cool that how much stuff you could just learn by just seeing how a guy trains or how a guy hits pads.
Dude, it's amazing. I can't get enough of all of this shit, man. I got to be honest with you. And I just can't believe all the different turns, and different, with a guy like Blaydes, and now he's off. And when's he going to fight again? It's like, when is Stipe coming back, frankly, so that we can give Ngannou a chance? You know what I mean? It's like there's so many, just so many different nooks and crannies and turns that all these divisions take. It's just, I can't get enough, man. So.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. 2021 is going to be a big year, good year for the UFC, and a big year for Remember the Show, for sure.
Yeah, and a big year for Bully Muhammad.
For sure.
Well, anyway, next week, same time, 11:30 p.m. We'll be 9 days away from your fight, which is
11:30 p.m. Oh,
what did I say? 9:30 p.m.
You said 11:30 p.m.
30. I'm all confused because I can't stop focusing on the time zone for 2 days before your fight on the 17th. But next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, as usual, on this same channel, Anik and Florian Podcast. You can get them, I believe, Sunday night. So tune in, Bully. Work hard, as I know you are. Great week. We appreciate everyone being with us.
Peace out, people.
Later.